So significance and dominance key number 13, we're talking about power building framework or influence building framework. And I was saying, who doesn't like to be powerful? People like, whether we like it or not, we can sugarcoat it with being humble and, being calm and all that's good. But, inside, you want to be that kind of person that if you pick a phone call, you can make things happen. If you enter somewhere, they know that somebody has entered. If you say something in a meeting or you say something to somebody, you would like them to sit and understand, listen, understand, and take action the way you want. We human beings like that, especially us men that are very egoistic, right? A man would naturally like to have power over the family. If you know what I say is the law and all of that. Even you want to start, you can, when you're still dating, you see those signs in the relationship. You want to, is what I want. I want to see it work. I want to command that kind of power from there to family, in the workplace, in the community, in the national and global scene. They like it. Like in Africa, that's why many people get to stay on power, especially the male gender. They love to stay in power for long because they love it. They love power, they love influence, and all of that. But of course, there is good influence and there is bad influence, right? And it is possible to build power. There are some people that stumble on power by accident and they grow to become powerful. And there are some that they build it intentionally. You don't just stumble on it. Most people who can stumble on power and become powerful are people that can inherit the power. But here we're talking about building power. Like, for example, a president's son and daughter doesn't need to struggle to build power or influence, right? Like I was just thinking, there's this girl of Dr. Paul Enenche, the pastor of Dunamis Church. She's so influential on social media that I think she has almost 200,000 plus followers and so on. She didn't have to do anything special to build that kind of power and influence. Just because her last name is Enenche, her father's name is Easy, for example. So there are things that some people don't have to struggle to build. They just have to learn how to take advantage of it. You know what we're talking about. We can train on how to take advantage of power, how to take advantage of a name that you grow into and learn how to manage. Just because you are Bill Gates' daughter and you carry the Gates name makes it different, right? You have that kind of power and you can now build certain things to take advantage of that. But here we're talking about building that influence, building that power. And the truth is that there are some jobs, there are some successes, there are some results that you will never achieve in life if you don't have influence. Don't confuse. Influence is in different dimensions. Don't only take influence to those who are political or to those who are in power and all of that. No. Influence is in diverse ways, and influence used the right way can be tremendous. Right? So, like for example, there are some of you that I have made a call and some of you have had an opportunity or you have had this. That is still influence. I am not as influential maybe as the governor of the Victoria region or as a governor, as a president or a minister or whatever, or somebody working in the African Union and all of that. But that at that level, that is still influence. In my business setting, in my sector, in the training and speaking industry, I command my own power and influence based on certain things that I have been able to do or have mastered, right? You can be influential as a student. You can be influential as a tech entrepreneur. You can be influential as a restaurant owner. You just need to know how to build it. Anybody can build power and influence, but it takes a lot of intentionality, especially for people that don't have a name to inherit. You don't have a family power or influence to leverage on to build your own. You have to learn how to build from ground up. Are we there? But again, as I said, for you to win in 2022, you will learn how you need to have the right influence and the right influence that you can use to achieve the things you have to achieve, either to cause impact in the community or to make money. Many people are struggling in life because they are guess working this. Some don't even know that they need to do this. Like there are many of you that you didn't know that you have to just build this influence. You didn't know that it's important in your model for success. Hear it today. Influence is important in your success equation. For you to rate success, it means that there are some people that they must put some respect to your name. That's a fact. The question is, who is putting respect to your name? In your sector, who is putting respect to your name? Are we there? So you have to learn how to build the influence and take advantage of it, because you need that for your future success. So for you to win in 2022, you have to build the right influence or power in your career, around your business, in your personal life, and so on. Power as influencing action is an abundant resource that we can build, invest in, and grow it. Yes, you can build the power, you can invest in building it, and you can grow it tremendously, right? The influence I used to have, like in speaking and consulting or in the entrepreneurship sector in Cameroon and Africa in 2010 or 5 years, 6 years, 7 years ago, is not the same today. It has grown, I've invested in it intentionally, and it is where it is today. And if I continue to do the right thing, it's only going to become more powerful 10 years after, 20 years after, or whatever they can talk about. Same for your own business name. Yes, you can invest to build influence around your business name, around your company name. You can do that. So it's an abundant resource that anybody here can invest in it. Number one way that you can build influence, I'm going to talk about the core ways that can build influence. Number one way is what they call, you need to build referential power. Referential power. Influence will struggle without referential power. You build referential power by finding, identifying, and connecting with people in different areas. That means you intentionally, strategically make sure that you know some core people or right people in different areas. Like, for example, if you go to a new town for the first time and you're somebody who has a good name, let's say, for example, if I transfer now to a new city or whatever, if I need to build referential power, what I can do is, you know what, I'll try to get in the good books of the mayor of that city, for example. I try to connect with him. I try to connect maybe with the SDO or with the governor. I try to connect with maybe the priest, the Catholic priest of that city, for the biggest church. Or you just identify people that command some level of power, and you can buy them a gift. You can buy them champagne. You can buy them whatever to go and connect with them. You can go to where they have an event or where they will be and connect with them. You can go to their office and visit them, but find a way to identify and connect with people in different areas. Connect with the judge of the highest court in the land. Connect with the person who has the biggest school in the land. Connect with somebody who has the biggest business in the land. Connect with journalists who have the biggest talk show in that city. You see, you're strategically doing that. Even if your power is not at that level, come down to your level. Start connecting with the right people who are doing things at your particular level. You must not go at the top, but start gradually. The same like if it's me when I started, of course I was not connected with all the big guys. Yeah, it was just who I could meet at my level, who could recognize me at my level. Power is also in levels. But this is an element of power that you need to know. Like, for example, if you're still starting in any field, who is the next person around you that is doing something that you want to do someday, but you can have access to that person, connect with the person. Okay? Connect with a journalist of any, you may not connect with the most popular journalist in a particular television station, but connect with somebody in the house who can help you find your way when you need help in that house. But by all means, you need to find, identify, and connect with people in different areas that you can use them in as far as your work is concerned or as far as you advance. So the question I have for you is, What is the rate of your referential power? And talking about connection is about building relevant relationships. It's not about you going and saving somebody's number and they don't know that you exist. No. It's about you having their contact. Yes, it's good, but it's about you establishing a connection. It's about you making sure you talk to them. If possible, meet them. If not, call them, WhatsApp them, exchange an email. But by all means, don't just identify and stay. That is not power yet. Connect. Make sure that they know you and you know them. Make sure that you do something that can in-depth them. You can buy a gift and go visit them. You can do a portrait and give them as a gift. Let them hang on their wall. The more they see that portrait, the more they see you. You understand? But you have to build referential power. But remember, the core thing is in different areas. So you can strategically position. Who do you know in politics? Who do you know in the legal field? Who do you know in the security field, public security field? That's what they can have the police and all of that. Who do you know, in local governance? Who do you know in what? Just key areas that you think are critical in your journey. In your journey, you leverage and you build that referential power. If I ask you now, break down the stakeholders you are connected to in your referential power, are you going to have more than 5, 6 names? Even just connected with people in PPA right now who are in different areas is referential power. Guys, there are guys who are in agriculture, guys who are in technology, guys who are in this, who are in that, who are in that. Connect with them. And when you also connect with them, they can also connect you to their own referential power, people that they are connected to. So for you to win next year, you've got to invest intentionally in building your referential power. So what are you going to do? So you now see why there are some people that they certainly get to succeed. Like, why is this man making it possible like that? Right? So, like, for example, there was a time I just let me share that I'm trying to establish a good relationship with somebody at the 2 airports in Douala and Yaoundé. That's referential power because I use it. That's an area I use it, but I'm not there. I don't work there. But the only way I can do that is to have a reference power there that I can leverage on. Should in case something happens. All right. And when I passed at the airport, I tried, like when I was there's last in Dubai International Airport. Luckily, the person who was checking me in was a Cameroonian. He just saw my name and said, you remember PE. And we just spoke. And that was it. Trust me now, I got his contact. Once we got mine, he said, yesterday I saw his status as a Savant. That's good. So next time, whatever is happening, I know I have power. They have somebody there who can advise, who can give me a number to call and know what to do and not to do. Simple. You see, that's referential power already. That's being done. I don't have the contact of the highest airport authority by the school, but I got somebody there already. There's a foot in. Should in case whatever happened, he can leverage on his relationship and help me out with something. You see? So you need to, and it's not going to take overnight. For you to build strong referential power, it's a consistent process even. You don't do it and then you sit. No, when you have the opportunity, use it. The point now is you now know, you now have the blueprint. You need that to be intense. That's why I said earlier from beginning the course. What I'm going to teach, you need to know it and be intentional about the actions you are going to take to build what is going to help you for a very long time. You can even transfer it to your children's children. I was making a funny joke when I shared my daughter on this. I said that one of the first things I should do when she gets to high school is that she will be my PA when she gets to high school. If I thought she has interest in the work or in the company that I'm working on, I'm not going to force her, of course. If she has interest in it, okay, fine. Oh yeah, holidays are going to be my PA. You go where I go. The people I talk to, you talk to. Subtle way of transferring power. Subtle way of connecting her to the who knows me and who she needs to know. Simple, no stress about it. Very simple model. Before 3, 4 years, 5 years, she's initiated the whole stuff. She will see what I do and what I don't do. Simple mentorship, simple apprenticeship, no book, no training, and she gets it. What is the strength of your referential power, guys? May this put some chills in your body, and you will now see why, this also open your mind and see why some of our parents' names don't have power. They are just parents like that. They didn't know what to do. Number 2, informational power. For you to win in 2022 and above, you need to build informational power. Informational power is part of influence. Informational power is part of influence. You increase the informational power inside an organization by giving people access to information. This power is about the ability to access or control information that other people need. Now, in short, this is the ability to know what others don't know. I mean, don't just know it anyhow. Doesn't know anything. That's you just going knowing that somebody cheated or somebody did this, not power. Knowing relevant information. This is where the benefit of paying the price to go ahead makes you influential too. There's one thing that has made me to build influence in the entrepreneurship sector and speaking sector in Cameroon and Africa is this power. Power, this one now, when you do it, like when you speak somewhere and it's so good and everybody just wants to come and get your number, I just want to connect with you. And that is how you are also using that now to build referential power. What is the strength of your informational power? Like doing the 2022 morning retreat today is you building informational power in one way or the other. Because you are getting access to information that other people may need someday, which you can use and share someday. But this also, you need to be specific. Nobody builds informational power by being everywhere. If you want to see the benefit of this power, go and watch The Blacklist. It's a series. Raymond Reddington has a lot of power that he even makes the government to bow before him and work for him and influence their decisions because of informational power. When you strategically can control information that is relevant in a particular sector, it makes you a principality. You hear me? It makes you a principality. And this kind of power, you need to start now and start building it. Because it's going to take time. Because you need to be, like for example, I consider you to be a professional in a sector that you can control informational power. You should be somebody who knows the history of your sector. You know the insight of your sector. That means you know where the sector is now presently, and you know the foresight of your sector. It means you know the future of your sector. Then that is part of you building informational power. What I'm saying is you need to be that kind of person that you intentionally find the right information and know it and own it. And if possible, control it, manage it. And let people get to go through it. Let people say that, no, this one I need to specially request for this man to give me this, or I need to book for a session to get this. That is a lot of power. The kind of power makes somebody to drive from Yaoundé and come see you in Douala for 1 hour and then go back. That's power that you have. Not everybody can influence somebody to come and just listen to you talk and then go back. Informational power is very important in building influence. So you have to, that's why it's good to pick a niche where you're going to be a professional. You cannot build this kind of power by being everywhere. It's going to take you much, much longer. It's better you build this kind of power in a particular sector and then you start trying to build other sectors gradually. But this way you need to be known for a particular sector. Now, you know what, when it comes to this kind of information, this is the person to connect with. They're going to sort you out. And that start putting influence on your name. That start putting some respect on the work that you do. That start making people to be willing to pay you. You can even monetize it. Your informational power. What kind of information do you need? Do you have that people desire right now? What is the strength of your informational power? Or what kind of information do you need to have to make people to need you? That is your influence that you need to have. And when you know it, you need to make people to know that you have this information, that they can come to you and ask for it and pay for it, request for it. That is you building that influence. Like, for example, let's say you are in finance. Okay, you can know the finance law of 2022. Know it inside out. You can know the tax law of 2022. Know it inside out. That is informational power you have gathered. You're in human resources. Do you know the labor code of Cameroon inside out? Somebody can come and you teach them how to what the labor code say. Informational power. What kind of rare information do you need to gather in your setup that makes you that will make you a principality? Go find it. It may cost you, but it's worth it. It's worth it. So based on that success that you desire, what kind of informational power do you have? Is it enough? Do you now see why you don't have to just sleep anyhow? And then you wake up and want to become powerful like some people? No, there's something that they have that you don't have. There's something they know that you don't know. So you guys cannot command the same level of power. It's not possible. So you gotta wake up, guys. We just have to wake up if we have to win. We just have to wake up if we have to win. What is the strength of your informational power? Let's proceed. Number 3, expertise power. Kind of linked to information power, but now this is more tailored. This is more tailored. Expertise power. Identify people who have an area of expertise and develop that expertise and also use recognition to do that, right? So this is a two-way process. Two-way process. Now, number 1 is you need to connect with people that command certain level of expertise, especially in the area where you need to be successful, and connect with them. The first part for referential was just knowing generally per se, just knowing, like, powerful other people. But this one is more, it's expertise. Don't confuse the two. This is expertise. Like, for example, if you're in agriculture, for example, you can say, okay, you know what? I need to connect with soil experts. For example, I need to connect with somebody who studied food processing in the university. That's expertise that I'm looking for. I need to connect with somebody who masters in insecticide, who can even make insecticide. You get a process? So you're not finding more, because you're trying to build a strong level of expertise influence around you, which there's a level you even build up. People know that if you're looking for whoever is commands a certain level of expertise in this field, get to this guy. They'll connect you to the expert who can do and undo. You see? But with referential power, you can just know, like, okay, you know what? Let me connect with the Minister of Agriculture. Let me connect with the Regional Delegate of Agriculture. Now, that is just that referential power at that level. But with expertise power, you need to make sure that you are specific. What you are looking for is expertise that some people command, and you connect with them in your sector, especially. If you're in finance, you know what? I need to connect with somebody who is good at financial analysis. I need to connect with somebody who is good at international finance. I need to connect with somebody who is good at analyzing the finance laws across CEMAC region. I need to connect with somebody who understands forex trading, right? You see, you identify who are the experts that if you connect to and have access to them and who you can influence, it would change how you work. It would change how you help people in the sector. Because when you connect, when you have access to expertise, you always be in that place where you can help a lot of people. That's why a lot of people always come to me for doing things around business. Oh, do you know somebody who can do this? Do you know somebody who can do this? Somebody who can talk about taxes, somebody who can talk about accounting, somebody who can talk about law, business law, and all of that. I always get that request. By default, they put some respect to the name, and they put that naturally I start building influence because they know that I have access to a database of experts around the sector. So you now, as a professional in the sector, how many experts are you connected to in your sector? I mean, guys that are excellent, guys that can get the job done. Like in training, many people come to me for training. And so, okay, we need a training, an expert who can train on this. Do you know somebody? Can you reference us? As I just give a number, oh, sometimes like in a few seconds, yes, call this guy is gonna do it for you. They just always so excited, like you just get things done. Like somebody get to me trying to organize something, and they've been trying for 2 months to get somebody to an expert who can sort that thing out. They contact me 30 seconds. I can call this person, use my name, is done for you. And the person called and say, hi, Joybert gave me a number, and they say, whatever he said I should do for you, I'm gonna do it. That's the words the person said. So they come back and say, my goodness, what kind of influence do you have on this guy? He said that whatever I want him to do that I said he should do, he's just gonna do it immediately. That's power, that's influence. You see? So it's the same like for some of you. Some of you have been stranded with something and you say, okay, like who I think is Moses in the group who was trying to do a passport, and I asked in the group, who did a passport recently? Teke up there, I just did mine. So go fine. Moses talked to Teke, and Moses is got his passport already. I think he's remember yesterday after yesterday. William was there, so Will was there to help him every process to get the passport done and directed him. Simple. Because there was a connection of somebody who has the information or the expertise in that at that particular time to somebody who needed it. Somebody was sorted out, and later you only come back to tell somebody who influenced you or somebody did something that helped you, right? So that is it. So sometimes you need to intentionally invest to build expertise. You can start, and that's why I like to encourage people. See, if you want to succeed in any industry, start attending industry events. No event in your industry where they're having to go and attend. If you have money to buy flight tickets, go and attend. And I've told you guys this. I know, did I say it publicly or to some people? But let me say this. If I was saying, why this is coming up, but let me say it again. For next 2022, I'm encouraging a lot of people go and attend events out of the country. Start with Africa, where the flight ticket are still affordable for you to go. Go and attend events out of the country. As I told you, I don't think there's an African country whereby I cannot get an invitation letter for you. I have friends there who can always, okay, use the organization, give an invitation letter, and you go for a conference, or even just go volunteer for their own organization for 5 days, 10 days. Get that exposure. That is also you building expertise. You're going to build information and knowledge. You're going to build influence and all of that. Okay? So the second part of this expertise power now is your own expertise power. What do you command expertise in specifically? If I ask all of you now, write in maximum 3 words the areas where you command superior expertise, what will you say? Let's do that in the chat box. Let us see. Which area do you command expert in? Write it down in the chat box. Let's see. And in simple terms, in a more standard way, it is recommended that people who command, anybody who command expertise on something, you are that person that you must have done that thing for at least 10,000 hours. And 10,000 hours is roughly between 7 to 8 years, 6 to 8 years, depending on how many hours you put a day to build that. Right? So, which area in the society, generally in the economy, can you confidently say that you command expertise? If they come, let's say, to your city right now, to your town where you live, if they're selecting top 10, top 20 experts in that particular sector industry, can your name appear? Can you say that you are the best there is in that particular sector? Can you fully say that? Can you fully say that? Okay. Accounting, audit, and tax, that's George. Home delivery and customer service. Somebody says none for now, that's an awareness for you. Food safety management. Food safety is huge. What part? Try to break it down. Blockchain, cryptocurrency, bookkeeping, organic agriculture. Okay, Jermaine, not now. Okay, that's a wake-up call for you. Nutrition programming, M&E, project management. Not yet. Okay, working on it. Okay, good. Excellent. Now that's an awareness for you. You know, see, and that is why you may lack some power, because nobody can put respect on your name for any reason, right? Nobody can put any respect on your name for any reason. So you need to intentionally invest and work on it. Many people don't know that they grew at the age of 45, 50. They can just do average things. They just know by general knowledge, right? Like what they said, are they doing that subject in primary school? It's something to call general knowledge, right? There's nothing, nothing specific that you command, which is not good. Let your name be put on something. They command a certain level of authority in a particular sector. As I've always said this openly, I'm not too shy about that. When it comes to my friends, to my circle, all my guys are wealthier than me. I mean, richer than me. But one of the major reasons that they always come around me because they need the expertise I command. One of them told me, I like it because you make me richer, right? That is my own influence and power I have over them. They respect that. So as I always say, see, if you lack anointing, don't lack sense. If you lack money, don't lack sense. Some people, anointing of God, they don't have. Sense, they don't have. Money, they don't have. Your own, what do you have? At least, have three, end of the three. Become more dangerous and have the three. Simple. Power, influence power, you don't have. Nobody, you don't know any influential person in your life. Your family has no power. You have no power. You are just there. Yes. If you lack anointing, have sense. If you lack sense, have anointing. If you have money, don't have sense. You can buy sense if you want. Don't be poor physically, poor mentally, poor anointingly, poor networking. You are just you like that. You should be worried about your destiny from today. So build expertise power for thyself. You buy sense by recruiting intelligent people. That's what Dangote does. That's what another guy who's doing this thing. That's why they hire MBA graduates. They hire guys who have gone to school better than them. You don't need to even go back to these guys even go. They have their PhD and they're okay. But everybody that works with them, they have MBA. There's a company I know in the US. The guy recruits only MBA holders and above. But he doesn't have an MBA. He has not gone to school. That's him buying sense. It pays you to use your sense. Simple. Good. So expertise power is two-way. Connect to expertise, have them in your books, have a strong relationship with them. Number two, develop thy own expertise. Be good at something. Be careful. Don't clock 30 when you cannot be referenced that when it comes to this body, this person can get it done. You should be afraid. I am not saying you are still in your early 20s to be lazy. Instead, get it quickly. Now that you know, put some work into it. Put some work into it. But build your own expertise. See, it's gonna open you a lot of doors. Like many of us that are underdogs. You are an underdog where you are in the family whereby nobody can push you. You don't have referential power, for example. Like I did not start by having what has given me referential power is expertise power. You get a point? What has given me referential power to be able to have connections with you, government, people in the government and in different sectors of society is expertise power. My family didn't know who in Yaoundé in the power or whatever. Nobody know nothing anywhere as far as power is. We are counting family, there's a family power in Kumu, my family in Bansola, my family will come like number 200, 200, number, last they last. They who have power, they have money, they have influence, they in politics, they are there, in business, they are there, money, they are there, and all of that, right? So the only way that you can do is command expertise power, become so good at what you do that nobody can ignore you. This was one of my missions several years back. I'm going to become so good at what I do that nobody can ignore me. I have sat on tables I don't deserve to sit there just because of what I know in the work I do. So when you sit there now, and then that is how you connect with people. You connect with them. I have done trainings, and then you see a director of a company comes and attend, or director of this come and attend. When they come and what expertise power brought them, we now transfer it to referential power, or even a government person comes and attend. Expertise power brought them, I now leverage it and build referential power. Or I do a video, I write content, and then somebody reads and it's a powerful person, inbox me, and it's a pleasure to inbox you. When the person reads later, why were you pleasure? It's my pleasure for you to write me, right? So that's what I say in my mind, for example, right? But it's good to see that expertise power helps to bring that other power that by naturally I don't have the ability to build just like that. Expertise brings it to that level. Okay, so that's why it's good for you to build expertise power in the two ways that we have explained. Be connected to experts in your sector that can get the job done efficiently, and secondly, develop your own expertise, and then use recognition also. Recognize other experts, celebrate them, promote your own expertise. People recognize that this is what you can do. If you're good and nobody knows what you do, then your expertise power is used. You don't have power, you have an expertise. Expertise that nobody knows is not powerful. Yes, you can be an expert and you are not powerful because nobody knows what you can do. You are not using your expertise to do anything for anybody. Right? Yes. Nobody knows you. So you are talented and good, but nobody knows you. So you'll be a talented, good expert, poor, talented expert, which is not good for your destiny. Right? Good. So that is it. These are the fundamentals. See, if you get these three powers in place, watch and see your life now. Just begin to observe your life. You will be tremendously advancing on a daily basis. On a daily basis. So where are you lacking in these powers? Where are you lacking? You should be reawakened right now. You should be tense in your body. Something should be boiling in your stomach. You should be seeing where you have been lacking. So you have been lacking, you're lacking all the three. Lacking in all the three, which is dangerous. I hope that you don't, of course, I didn't put spiritual power here because we're not in church or it's not that kind of an event. But of course, 4 comes to spiritual power. So you are in things, you can start building political power. You can go start, you can join a political party. Yes, which is totally okay. Join a political party. And all the politicians around there are connected to you. And you're connected to them. That's political power you're building. There are guys in this country who are very powerful politically. They can get into any government office. But you have never seen them in public. But it's because they are part of a ruling party. And maybe they use technical know-how and serve the party behind the scenes. So all these ministers, when they're planning their strategy for elections, they always come back to the president. Or he's always in their planning and all of that. And that's why he has power. He has their numbers and their relationship. And he's not in public like many people, but he commands a wealth of political power. I know a guy like that, very powerful. But he's never on TV, never anywhere. But because he plans, he's in the political party and he uses expertise that he knows in planning and other strategy and all of that to serve the party. And that's why his ministers know him, governors know him and all of that, right? That's another way to also build political power. You must not stand for an election. No, the guys who are very powerful that have never been for an election, right? But these are the basics as far as young people are concerned. So as you can build and you start rising, in the process as you're rising, you start building other powers that you're going to need. And there are some that as you are growing, as you're succeeding, you realize that, oh, you need to build this power. You start investing in building that particular power. So from today, as we enter 2022, you need to be very conscious about which power you need to start building. When you want to start building all the three simultaneously, okay, have a plan for it. Intentionally have a plan for it. You now know what to do. You know how to do it. Start executing it. And have it in mind, you will not build power, influence and power overnight. It's going to take you time. It's going to take you years. It's continuous. Even me, I'm still building it. And I'll still build it for the next 20 to 30 years. It's as long as you are rising, as long as you are growing, you also need to make sure that your influence and your power is growing. You need it in the success journey. You need it for you to win next year. You need it for you to win by 2030. You're not going to survive without it. Except when you're okay in being in the village and then behind the counter of one small business, and then you take your small Tata salary of 35, 40, 50,000 francs, and you're okay like that. Then don't bother about this one. Then this is not for you. And if you're looking for more, you want to be more impactful, you want to be more transformational in the community, you want to have a voice that can influence change in a good direction, then you need to invest in this and intentionally begin to rise to the top as far as service is concerned. And by all means, when you're building power, make sure that you're building the basic fundamentals that pertains to life: humility, kindness. One of the most dangerous things is for you to use your power to suppress people. It's gonna come crashing on you down someday, no matter how long it takes. No matter how nature is gonna fight you someday, whether I like it or not. God himself is gonna fight you someday, whether I like it or not. So while you're building this power, make sure that the personality is okay. Your humility should be intact. The kindness to other human beings should be there. Love should be there. It's very critical. Okay. I'm not saying that it should be too common, but I'm saying that be intentional in how you react and serve other human beings. Don't let power reveal. If power is supposed to reveal the true you, start repenting now before you even start building it. Because it's going to reveal the real you. When you have it, the real you will start manifesting. It's also like money, what they call economic power. And when you build expertise power, automatically you start building economical power. money power, right? So that's another power that you need to also build. But when you start with all of this, money now comes naturally. Money starts flowing into your direction because you start learning how to monetize all of this. In short, money no longer becomes any challenge for you because you will know naturally how to make it because you have things to monetize to make the money. You have value to exchange for the value of currency. That's why I didn't talk about it. Money is the least power, trust me. It's the least. Because when you have all of this now, it flows into your direction. La la la. Many of you are still struggling financially because you don't have many of these powers. And that's why money struggle to come to you. Money likes power. That's a fact. Money loves power. So when you have any of this power, money starts flowing to you. Naturally, start attracting it. Okay? All right. So that is it for today's session. I hope there's been some deliverance and liberation and some new decisions that you're making. But go and build power for anybody who desires to create that change, that influence, that impact. You just you have ambitions, you have dreams, you have visions for thyself. You need this particular framework to manifest those dreams and those ambitions that you have for yourself, for your family, for your community, for your country, and so on. All right, everybody, let's talk. Comments, questions, and we'll run up.